Hi, this is Ray from Honeytop Bees, and I'm going to make a honey warming cabinet today out of this old freezer. I need was a fan to circulate the air. Super long cord. As you can see, the cord, I purchased these little clips. You can see the splice where I spliced the cord together there. Fan is running and everything is working good. And I'm going to walk you through it step by step in case you want to do it yourself sometime. So the freezer that I got, I paid $50 for it on Facebook. You can get ones that are free, sometimes from junk stores or people that have things that they just want you to carry and take with them. But I went ahead and paid $50 for this one because it's an old freezer and it has just one section in it. Some of the ones that have two sections, either I would have to build two different electric systems for each section, or I'd have no use for the top one. So, and this was the right size. This is about the size that I wanted it to be. And so this is what I purchased, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you some of the parts. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the thermostat here. This is the thermostat that I purchased. All I've done is hung it up, but I'm gonna show you step by step on how I hook everything up here. A couple of other parts that I need was a fan to circulate the air. So I'll be hanging this inside. The particular fan that I got has a variable speed control on it. And the other thing that I liked about this particular model is it does have a disconnect here, so I can make the hole smaller in the wall of the freezer to be able to slide this through, as opposed to having to make a larger hole for the plug. This is going to be my lamp. I'm going to use a 100-watt light bulb inside of this, and I'm actually going to cut this wire, run it through the cabinet, and then splice it back together again so that I don't have to make such a big hole in the side of the cabinet. It'll make it easier for me to fill in with insulation and caulk. So I'm just going to use a very small hole, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And of course, just so you know, I will put a list of the parts in the video description, as well as some links to where I got it. Okay, step number one, I need to hang the light fixture inside the cabinet. To do so, I purchased these little clips. This clip is going to go in to the roof of the freezer with one screw, and then it has a little slot for a zip tie to go through it, and it will secure the power cord. So I'm going to go ahead and do it and then show you when it's done. Okay, you can see I have secured the light fixture. I'm going to add about 4 or 5 more of these to make the cord look nice inside the fridge before I run it to the outside. Okay, that's done. Now I have put a couple of these. Now it's time for me to address this super long cord. As you can see, the cord is way longer than I need, and I don't want to make a hole, have to make a big hole for this plug. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut this cord and remove all of the extra cord and then splice it back together. All right, I've cut the cord, and I'm going to go ahead and put the hole in the outside of the cabinet now so I can determine how long the cord needs to be before I put it back together. And so on the outside of the cabinet, I've already mounted my thermostat, so I'm going to put my hole just to the right of the plug so that everything is in the same area at the top of the cabinet. And I'm looking probably at about a 1/2-inch hole is all that I need. There's my hole with all my insulation, and I'll be ready to run the power cord for the light through, and also the power cord for the fan. So the fan has these little spacers, which are important in order for the circulation to have the fan to draw some air. And so these get bolted on, and then the fan is actually adhered to the wall with little sticky adhesive pads. Not too sure I like these for a good quality project, how it's going to last. We're going to give it a try. If it doesn't work, I'll have to go to plan B later on down the road. Okay, I have put these mounting spacers on the back. I'm not actually sure that I have them on right. I'm sure there's some computer person that works with computer fans and they're going to tell me I have it on there wrong. But for my purposes, it's still going to work. I needed to create a space behind the fan for the air to draw. I used to own a business restoring vintage Coke machines and cooling systems, and I know how important that circulation is and to have a draw alley for the air to come through. And so I'm not sure I have those on probably the way they should be put on. And I thought these were double-sided, but they're not. So I'm gonna have to go to plan B with mounting this. So I ended up going back with the double-sided tape
you can see it in there. I had some good high quality GM double-sided tape, and that feels very solid in there. We'll see if it lasts through the years. As my backup plan, I went ahead and ran the wire through the same secure clip back there, so in the event that it falls, that will hold it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie it together with the light cord as well, so if it should ever fall, it will just dangle there until I notice it. But I don't know, feeling how secure it is, and it's all plastic, and so it seemed like it's sealed pretty good. We're gonna see if those 3 double-sided tapes. Otherwise, if I had the right length screw, which I don't have in my shop right now, I would have just ran a screw through the whole thing and screwed it to the ceiling. So if you have the right size screw, that would have been my first plan. Okay, so here's what it looks like finished on the inside of the cabinet. I've got my light bulb, and I've got my wires, and my 2 wires going out are my light bulb and my fan. And on the outside of the cabinet, my light bulb that I have to splice, and then my fan with a controller on it. And I'm gonna have to find a way to clean up those wires. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of splicing this now. Now, the light bulb came with a switch on it for turning on and off. I don't have any use for that switch because the thermostat's gonna control it, so I'm just going to cut the wire close to the plug. All right, you can see the splice where I spliced the cord together there, and now I'm just gathering up these wires to make everything look a little bit neater, and then I'll plug it in and grab a light bulb. But we're almost done, and I've got to caulk up this hole here, fill it with insulation. This is the heat sensing probe, the temperature sensing. This needs to be run from the thermostat into the cabinet back through my hole. Okay, I have now run my temperature sensing probe down. I put it in the opposite corner of the fan, so that way I make sure that when it shuts off, the temperature that I want inside of my honey warming box is consistent across the whole box. Now on the fan, I have a choice. I can either have the fan come on and off with the heat lamp, or I can just have the fan on all the time. I'm not really sure. I'll have to play with it and see which one I like better, but I have a feeling I'm just gonna let the fan circulate all the time as opposed to coming on and off. But if I wanted to have it come on and off with the thermostat, of course I could plug it into the thermostat receptacle, but I'm just gonna plug it into a regular receptacle initially and let it run all the time. So I'm gonna go grab a light bulb and we'll finish this cabinet up. All right, so we finished up the honey cabinet, honey warming cabinet, and I'm just gonna kind of show you a little bit of an overview of it again. Just remember, you don't have to make it out of something this large. You can use a little mini fridge if you don't have much honey, or you can put 2 light bulbs in it if you have a lot of honey, like a double fridge, whatever. You can even make your own box as long as it's insulated and can retain the heat. It doesn't necessarily need to be a refrigerator box, but an insulated refrigerator box or freezer box works really well for something like this because it's already insulated and prepared to hold the heat. So I'm just going to kind of review and just go over a couple things and just show you everything that we did. All right, so right now my temperature inside the cabinet, I just turned it on, is 73 degrees. I have it set for 101. Really, I'm probably going to change that to 100. Really, you want your honey to be warmed around 100 degrees, but you want to stay under 104 so that you don't damage the honey at all. And this is my fan control here. I did add a couple of these secure strips to kind of secure this to the side of the cabinet. And I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's the variable control, so I can set it, the fan speed at whatever I want. And then I went ahead and filled this in with silicone there as well. And there's my fancy little logo, magnet logo. I've got one on the front too, so it looks nice on the front. And then inside, I've got my light bulb hanging. I've stuck a little bit of honey in there and put the shelves back in. And again, just to show you the fan is running and everything is working good. And I did stick a thermostat in here as well, just so I can compare that the thermostat on the outside and the temperature on the inside are calibrated together correctly. So if you keep your honey in here at around 100 degrees, it will keep it from crystallizing and be ready for your customers when it's ready to sell. So thanks for watching. This is Ray from Honey Top Bees, and hope you'll like and subscribe to this video. I appreciate it very much. Take care and God bless.